Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top countries with zero income tax in 2024. If you're looking to minimize your tax burden and keep more of your hard-earned money, you might be interested in countries with zero income tax. There are some countries that offer a tax-free environment for individuals and businesses and allow them to thrive without the burden of personal income tax. These countries provide an opportunity for those seeking to build their wealth and enjoy a high quality of life. Before you plan to move there, it is essential to learn all critical aspects such as rules, regulations, requirements, and cost of living in these countries. Let's explore the top 6 countries with zero income tax and uncover all the crucial details you need to know about these countries. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the countries with zero income tax in 2024. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top countries with zero income tax in 2024. Number 6. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has gained attention in recent years for its ambitious economic reforms and diversification efforts. One of the key aspects of Saudi Arabia's tax structure is the absence of individual income tax. In 2024, Saudi Arabia continues to maintain its position as a country with zero income tax for its citizens. However, it's important to note that while there is no direct income tax, Saudi Arabia does have other forms of taxation in place. The country imposes a 5% value-added tax, VAT, on most goods and services. Saudi Arabian citizens and interests are subject to zakat, a religious wealth tax based on the taxpayer's net worth, not income. The effective rate for zakat is 2.5% of a person's net worth. There are no specific residency requirements in terms of the number of days one must physically reside in the country. However, to be considered a resident for tax purposes, an individual must have a permanent place of residence in Saudi Arabia and spend at least 30 days in the country during the tax year. The cost of living in Saudi Arabia can vary depending on the city and individual lifestyle choices. In general, housing costs are high in major cities like Riyadh and Jeddah. Rental prices for apartments can range from around $500 per month for a studio to $1,500 or more for a larger apartment. Food costs in Saudi Arabia are generally lower. A meal at an average restaurant typically costs around $10 to $15, while a meal for two at a mid-range restaurant can range from $30 to $50. Grocery prices are also affordable, with a liter of milk costing around $2. Gasoline prices in Saudi Arabia are subsidized. Public transportation, such as buses and the metro system in Riyadh, is available at affordable rates. Taxis and ride-sharing services are also widely used and can be cost-effective for shorter distances. Healthcare costs can be high, especially for private healthcare services, and it's recommended to have adequate health insurance coverage. Number 5. Brunei. Brunei is a small sultanate on the island of Borneo. It stands out as the 5th country in the world with no personal income tax. This oil-rich nation also has one of the lowest corporate tax rates in Asia at 18.5%. Brunei is considered a dream destination for foreign businesses and investments. While Brunei's tax structure is relatively straightforward, with no value-added tax, export tax, payroll tax, or manufacturing tax, there are a few hidden costs to consider. Employers are required to contribute 5% of local employees' wages to the employees' trust fund. People must be identified as residents of Brunei to be eligible for the country's 0% income tax. A person is considered a resident if they are physically present in the country for 183 days or more during the year. However, obtaining permanent residency in Brunei can be challenging, as the country is known for its strict immigration policies and heavy-handed government. The cost of living in Brunei is relatively low compared to other countries in the region. Housing costs are reasonable, with rental prices ranging from around $300 to $1,000 per month for a one-bedroom apartment. Groceries and necessities are also affordable, with a meal at an inexpensive restaurant costing around $5. Transportation in Brunei is also cheap, with a one-way ticket on local transport costs just 50 cents. However, the country's public transportation system is limited, and many residents rely on private vehicles or taxis for their daily commute. Number 4. United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, is a country that has gained significant attention globally for its attractive tax policies, particularly its zero income tax structure. In 2024, the UAE will continue to provide a tax-free environment that advances economic growth and development. This policy is in line with the country's vision to position itself as a global business hub and leverage its strategic location and favorable tax environment to attract foreign investment and talent. In 2024, a person is considered a tax resident if they have their usual or primary place of residence and their financial and personal interests in the UAE, or if they are physically present in the UAE for 90 days or more in a consecutive 12-month period and meet certain nationality or employment criteria. The cost of living in the UAE varies depending on the specific location and lifestyle. Housing, for instance, can range from affordable options in areas like Dubai Marina to luxurious villas in Jumeirah. On average, a one-bedroom apartment in a central location can cost around AED 6,000 to AED 9,000, approximately $1,600 to $2,000 per month. Food prices are generally higher in the UAE compared to other countries in the Middle East, with a meal at a mid-range restaurant costing around AED 50 to AED 100, approximately $14 to $27 per person. Transportation costs are relatively low, with a monthly public transportation pass of around AED 500 to AED 1000, approximately $136 to $272. Apart from these expenses, there are other costs associated with living in the UAE, such as utility bills, internet and television services, and health insurance. However, these costs are generally comparable to the costs of other developed countries. Number 3. The Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands is a British overseas territory in the Western Caribbean. With no income tax, the Cayman Islands offer a unique opportunity for individuals to live and work without the burden of these taxes. However, it's essential to understand the residency requirements and the cost of living in the country to make the most of this tax haven. In order to qualify for zero income tax in the Cayman Islands, there are specific residency requirements. In 2024, the minimum requirement is to reside in the country for at least 183 days in a calendar year or 30 days during a year if you have a permanent home there. The physical presence requirement is crucial to maintain your tax-free status. The cost of living in the Cayman Islands is also high. According to recent statistics, a single person can expect to spend around 4,064 Cayman Islands dollars, around $5,000 per month. Housing is a major expense. A one-bedroom apartment in Grand Cayman can cost around 2,500 Cayman Islands dollars, around $3,000 per month. The overall price of food and transportation is also relatively expensive. A basic lunchtime menu in a mid-range restaurant can cost around 20 Cayman Islands dollars, around $25, while a one-way ticket on public transportation can cost around 3 Cayman Islands dollars, around $4. People must budget wisely because other costs, including entertainment and utilities, can also disturb the monthly financial cycle. Despite the high cost of living, the Cayman Islands offer a combination of financial benefits and a high standard of living. The country's modern infrastructure, low crime rate, and excellent healthcare and education facilities make it an attractive destination for individuals and families. Number 2. Qatar. Qatar is known for its luxurious lifestyle and high standard of living, but another interesting fact about the country is that there is no income tax. The country's tax structure is designed to generate revenue through other means such as oil and gas exports, as well as taxes on businesses and corporations. The country does not impose a personal income tax on its citizens or residents, which means that individuals do not have to pay taxes on their earnings from employment or investments. The no-tax strategy makes it an attractive option for those looking to minimize their tax liability. To qualify for zero income tax in Qatar, one must meet certain residency requirements. The country has a unique system where foreigners can obtain a residence permit, which is usually tied to their employment or investment. For example, foreigners working in Qatar can obtain a residence permit through their employer, while those investing in the country can obtain one through the Ministry of Economy and Commerce. In terms of physical residency, Qatar does not have a specific requirement for the number of days one must spend in the country to qualify for zero income tax. However, it is generally recommended that individuals maintain a physical presence in the country to ensure compliance with tax laws and regulations. The cost of living in Qatar is relatively high, particularly in the capital city of Doha. Housing is one of the biggest expenses, with a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costing around QAR 6,200, approximately $1,700 per month. Food and transportation are also relatively expensive, with a three-course meal for two at a mid-range restaurant costing around QAR 200, approximately $55. It's worth noting that while Qatar does not have a personal income tax, there are some hidden taxes that citizens and residents may be subject to. For example, there is a 5% value-added tax, VAT, on most goods and services, as well as a 10% customs duty on certain imports. Number 1. Bermuda. Bermuda is a popular destination for high-net-worth individuals seeking a tax-friendly jurisdiction. As of 2024, the country imposes no taxes on profits, income, dividends, or capital gains, which makes it an attractive location for businesses and individuals. However, it is essential to note that Bermuda's tax structure is not entirely tax-free. While there is no income tax, the country does have a 15% corporate income tax, CIT, applicable to multinational enterprise, MNE, groups with annual revenue of €750 million or more. This law will be effective from January 2025. The motive of this law is to aim at large corporations, and it does not affect the majority of businesses operating in Bermuda. For individuals, the tax structure is more straightforward. Bermuda does not have a personal income tax, capital gains tax, or inheritance tax. However, it is crucial to understand that there might be other taxes or fees applicable, such as property taxes, stamp duties, and other local levies. To qualify for zero income tax in Bermuda, one must meet specific residency requirements. In 2024, the government requires that applicants be at least 18 years of age, have a valid passport, and demonstrate sufficient financial means to support themselves and their dependents. On top of that, applicants must not have a criminal record and must be able to demonstrate good conduct and character. Residency requirements for zero income tax in Bermuda typically involve a physical presence in the country. While there is no specific number of days required, applicants are expected to maintain a connection to the island, including owning a home, working, or studying there. The government also requires that applicants intend to remain in Bermuda for an extended period, usually at least 2 years. The cost of living in Bermuda is relatively high compared to other countries. A family of 4 can expect to spend around $11,144 Bermudian dollars per month, while a single person can expect to spend around $7,241 Bermudian dollars. Housing, food, transportation, and other expenses contribute significantly to these costs. So, which are your favorite countries among the top countries with zero income tax in 2024? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite countries among the top countries with zero income tax in 2024 in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.